What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, OG is back, man. You guys already know what time it is with this cat right here. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. And yes, this is my intro, people. So just bear with me, man. I'm not up to par on this technology like these other podcasters, you know what I mean? Keep in mind, I am a full-time online fitness coach. If you want to get started in your fitness journey, you could go to my Instagram and shoot me a DM, high_power_fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpoweredfitness@yahoo.com, man. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. You can't talk about it, you just got to be about it, man. You know what I'm saying? If you keep on doing all this, you're going to stay exactly where you're at, in that small little box or little circle, whatever you want to call it, however you want to title it. You know what I mean? There's enough room for everybody out here to have that bag and for growth, man. You just got to learn to put that ego and pride to the side and reach out to that person that has results. And that's what I do right here on my program, because this is a fitness channel. I always start off talking about fitness, nutrition, or just overall health in general. Today I'm going to touch a little bit about creatine, and then I'm also going to elaborate just a little bit on what's his name, Cali Muscle, and my status. My status was being questioned the other day. I thought it was funny, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, you know what I mean? There's always these characters out there. But first and foremost, man, before I go moving on, yes, this OG does ramble on. Don't think I ever forget about my subscribers, my followers, man. I appreciate you guys, every last one of you guys, man. Anybody that's been interacting with my channel and helping me get it to grow, I appreciate that. And last but not least, as always, my channel members, man, my future moderators. You guys already know what time it is with this OG right here. Once we get this channel up to 10,000 subscribers, we're going live, baby. We can bring this YouTube yada active. You know what I'm saying? Can't talk about it, it's got to be about it. But anyways, people, yeah, so today, before I go moving on, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. People, put your notification bell on and share this channel. Like I said, let's get it to 10,000 subscribers. 10,000, we get active, baby. You know what I'm saying? On this YouTube yada, there will be no discrimination, no holds bars, baby. Just don't bring that funny stuff to the program, because stuff ain't gonna be tolerated in my yada. You know what I mean? We will just remove you. There's no DPs, no chequeadas, none of that. Feel me? Straight removals. You know what I mean? We don't fiddle diddle. We came to put in a little. But anyways, people, today I'm gonna talk a little bit about creatine, because I've been asked about it time after time. You know what I mean? What is creatine? Creatine, people, it's a combination of 3 amino acids, arginine, glycine, and methionine. And in your muscles, it combines with the phosphate to help you recycle ATP. ATP is like the energy currency in the muscles. So it helps you recover the energy. So it's good for helping you with heavy lifting. It also helps with muscle recovery. It also helps the strength of the muscle and the size of the muscle, of course. Keep in mind, there's different types of creatine, man, and sometimes people can be allergic to it, so you got to be very careful. You know what I mean? Try a little before you start taking a full dose. My 2 favorite creatines are the 2 that I believe to be the best. Are creatines. One is called creatine ethyl ester and micronized creatine. Those I find to be the best out there, you know what I mean? But like I said, at the end of the day, what works for me may not work for you, you know what I mean? Give it a shot. Do I take them currently? No, I don't, you know what I mean? I just eat healthy nowadays, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to go to the gym and hit heavy weight and perform, you know, at my peak level. I would prefer to look at my peak level than, you know, having to go perform at my peak level, even though it is there, you know what I mean? I'm in the best shape of my life, people. But anyways, man, yeah, the 2 types of creatines, I think those are the best, man, right there. So if you decide to run a creatine supplement, I'd try either one of those. I don't have a specific brand, just make sure to follow the dosage. But again, the reason why I want to bring this up is because people keep asking me over and over what it is. Can I take it to increase muscle mass? I believe it's beneficial. So if you're trying to get bigger and need a booster and you're lifting weights, you might want to give it a try, people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't hurt to try anything, as long as it's going to be beneficial. You know what I mean? What I'm referring to, let me clear this up. Anything has to do with your fitness journey or overall physical health and well-being. You know, hey, why not give it a shot? If you're suffering from something and this may work for you, hey, give it a shot. But just always try everything in, you know, small amounts before you go and max out. You know what I mean? Because, you know, once you put in too much, it may be more harmful than good. You know what I mean? So just crawl before you walk, baby. Once you learn to walk, then you run. You feel me? But anyways, people, yeah, this is a fitness channel. If you guys want to elaborate on any type of nutrition, supplements, let me know down there in the comments. You know what I mean? If you want to get started on your fitness journey, I have a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 1-year program. I do in-house financing, and what I mean by that, I require a down payment, and after the down payment, you're left with the balance, and with that balance, you come up with your own payment plan. I don't stick a price tag on you. So your word is your credit with me. If you say that you're going to pay weekly, bi-weekly, once a month, I'm okay with that. As long as you pay off the balance before your program is up, I'm cool with that. And trust and believe, you will have full benefits of my program. You'll have full access to my nutritional library, full access to my exercise library, and unlimited access with me as far as like doing Zoom calls, team Zoom calls, and just tapping in with me just to see, you know, because you're struggling with something, or maybe you're going out on a date with the family and you don't really know what to eat. So I'll guide you through it. You know what I mean? That way you stay on point. There's no excuse why you should not get results. You know what I mean? It's following a simple blueprint. It's bulletproof. You know, I know many different ways. So if there's one diet that may not work for this individual, I set up a different diet. You know what I mean? We're going to tailor a program that's going to be beneficial to your lifestyle and to your comfort. We want you to be comfortable during your journey. I want you to be comfortable during your journey. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people always say you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, but why should you have to go through that struggle? You know what I mean? I enjoy every day getting up, working out. You know what I mean? That's what I do. You know what I mean? It's man, I look forward to it. It's something that I've created in my body, mindset, and a lifestyle. It's the best habit, I tell you right now, man. It's the best investment that you could do, is investing in yourself. You could get no wrong out of it. You're going to benefit, even if it's the slightest. That slightest will show and make a difference amongst your peers, your loved ones, and just people that you interact with on a daily. You know what I mean? It shows, you know what I mean? I could walk into a room and, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything. I'm going to give you an example. When I went to that club, that 99 Bottles, man, and yeah, I was dressed up in a leisure suit. Bonnaroo, baby, you know what I mean? From head to toe. You know, if you know, you know. And then once I come out my top and just in my slingshot, people rubberneck. You know what I mean? They're basically checking out all my tats, which the leisure suit I was wearing exposed my because I'm sleep down. You know what I mean? I'm sleep down from head to toe, baby. You know what I mean? Pretty much. You know what I mean? I got a little room left, but it is what it is. And eventually that room's going to be gone too. I will start getting some tattoos because all my tattoos come from the joint, people. If you guys ever questioned that or was curious about that, they all come from the joint. I've had some touched up out here. You know, my homeboy, my homie over there, you know, if you know, you know. I'm not going to put his name out there. Why? Because I don't have permission to. The other homie, let's just put it that way. Yeah, he did some touch-ups on mine and brought my shit back to life. You know, so anyways, people, yeah, so when I came out with my shirt, either they were impressed with all the tattoos or curious, hey, who's this OG, all sleep down or something, and I'm sure they started speculating, things were going through their mind, questioning who I was and what my status was, you know what I mean? I'm just a full-time online business coach, fitness coach that does this on a daily on social media. I'm nobody other than that, people. Yeah, people were either impressed, like I said, with the way I look or just in my overall appearance, you know what I mean? Because I am in pretty good shape, you know what I mean, for being 54 years old. I'm not big, but I'm not small. I have that bedroom physique, baby. I could come out my shirt and look proper anywhere. I'm one of them cats that will stroll down the boardwalk, the beach line with no t-shirt on. You feel me? And be proud of the skin that I walk in. I mean, you should be proud of the skin that you walk in regardless, you know what I mean? Either you're fat, skinny, tall from the floor up, whatever. Hey, be proud of what you are because that's who you are, is what you made of yourself. You know, at the end of the day, you can't blame nobody for where you're at. You know what I mean? Because straight up, man, I came from a complete family home. father was a military man. My mom was a full-time housewife to my father, took care of us. She actually worked for a little while too for the county, you know what I mean? So there was, as far as the blame game, pointing fingers, why individuals came up the way they did, it's shit for the birds, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you make your own decision. Yeah, there's a lot of influence behind that, but you know, you got to just be strong about shit and look at your people and say, man, do I want to end up like this? It's time to make a change, baby. Well, anyways, yes, I rambled on, and that's what I do, man. OG rambles on a lot, man. And trust and believe, once we get this YouTube yada active and I go on lives, I won't ramble on, people. We'll get to the nitty gritty, baby. We'll get down to what needs to be handled. I mean, we'll take care of business, baby. But anyways, people, I think for now, that's enough rambling on. I'm going to elaborate just a little bit on, what's that cat's name again? Cali Muscle. I remember when I paroled, man. I got a temp job through an agency, and you know I had to do what I do, even though I had a Class A license, but I couldn't because I was fresh out the joint, so I couldn't land me a good job. So I had to do what I had to do as a man to provide for my family. I busted my ass, man, lifting all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother story. But what I did, I manned up and fucking bit down every last red cent that I made doing that slave labor went towards to keep a roof over my family's head, and eventually I ended up buying the property where I'm at. You know, it's a blessing, man. You just gotta, life will throw you some curveballs, man. You just learn to catch them. You feel me? Just be patient with it. You know what I mean? It's just like my program. Trust the process. Don't try to rush it, because when you rush it, you make mistakes, and by making mistakes, it just causes setbacks. There's no need for that. Get it right the first time. Work smart, not hard. But anyways, yes, I rambled on again. That's what this OG does. Cali Muscle. Yeah, well, there was this individual down there, Vince. He's a casual cat. He's from La Puente. It's a trip. Blaxican. That fool spoke Spanish fluently, man. Hey, if you ever see this video, my boy, hey, much love and respect to you, G, man. You were a character to work around, man. I believe they hired you full time. But anyways, this fool was like the biggest fan of Cali Muscle, man. And I used to pull this cat's covers because, you know, I'm able to identify. I know a lot of people like Dubs likes to pull Cali Muscle's, pull his covers about the role that he plays. Yeah, he portrays a good role, you know what I mean? Oh, big mouth, babbling dude, you know what I mean? Hey, that fool was juiced up, man, because I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I remember doing time, there was this one blood. Man, I'm not going to, I believe his name was Ghost. I'm not going to say what neighborhood he was from, but he was a blood, man. That individual was the biggest person I've ever seen in my life to this day, and well developed, like a professional bodybuilder. He used to wear a little red braided cross around his neck. He was actually an albino. This fool was huge, but built like a professional bodybuilder, man. Yeah, well, anyways, when I seen Cali Muscle, I already knew, man. That fool was juiced up just by his behavior. I mean, you got to keep in mind, a lot of brothers are really high rev like that, depending on the area where they come from. And I know Dubs was questioning why they're like that, but, you know, I'm going to keep it real and 100% with you. Hey, a lot of homies from South Central are revved up like that, too. You know, they're a product of their environment. You know what I mean? That's just like with the homies from up north. It's entirely up to you at the end of the day. A lot of the homies from up north use that N-word, and there's a lot of homies from up north that don't use it. You know what I mean? There's homies from down south over here that grew up around all the brothers, Compton, Watts, South Central, and they don't use the N-word. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, it's not part of my vocabulary. Never have, never will be. You know what I mean? I find it disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's just very disrespectful. It's a derogatory term that degrades that race. You know what I mean? I mean, but to each his own. You know what I'm saying? Because there's certain individuals that believe it changes the meaning when you change a couple letters on there. To me, we already know what it means. Yeah, you could create. Well, I guess you can change shit nowadays, because look at crash out means to go fucking bonkers now. Crash out back in my day meant to go to sleep. Yes, well, anyways, I did ramble on. Yeah. So I used to pull the homies' covers and all that, and he would be like in denial, because you keep in mind this dude was a resident, you know. But I'm sure today, now that he sees that cat, he's looking back and say, man, OG was right about that shit. That fool was fucking fake ass fraud fool. You know what I mean? Yeah, he might have did a little bit of time, but he wasn't carrying himself like that because, you know, just you're. I don't give a shit how big you are. You're not gonna. No one's bigger than the program. You know what I mean? It's all about respect, baby. Respect is the way we live behind them walls. And when shit happens, it's usually behind business. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing personal. And I've shared that experience with me and that one individual in Supermax. You know, I had to toss him over the balcony. You know, it was nothing personal. And I ran into him later, and, you know, he understood. He knew. It was what it was. You know what I mean? If I wouldn't have been there, he would have blasted a few of the homies because he had a piece of candy. Where he got that from, who knows? Woo-wee. Shit. But, yeah, he had almost like a bone crusher. But anyways, people, yeah, wanted to touch on that a little bit. And before I go, I'm going to bring this video to an end. But before I do, there was a certain individual with this crazy ass title questioning my status. You know what I mean? First and foremost, my boy, you are nobody to be questioning anybody, especially right here on social media, asking me if I'm a gang member. Obviously, you have no idea what a gang member is, the definition of a gang member. Maybe where you come from, a gang member is somebody that's very activo. A gang member to me, this is the only thing I'm going to elaborate on. A gang member to me is one of them cats that like to sit pretty in their motherfucking garage and not bust a grape. They're claiming the fame. You feel me? I've never been a gang member. That's about as far as I'm going to go on that, because if you don't know, you don't need to know. And if you want to go inquire and find out what response you get. I'll tell you one thing, you wouldn't get shit from me. You know what I mean? It's nothing to glamorize, you know what I mean? It was my life that I grew up in. It's the life that I chose. Like I've said in the past, I'm going to tell you today, I got love for my neighborhood. I got love for every last one of my homeboys. There may be a couple homeboys out there that may not agree with certain things that I say, but, you know, at the end of the day, we're still homeboys and we love one another, you know what I mean? We don't hate one another. You know what I mean? We still got to show our support. That's the way we was brought up. You know what I mean? We have high values and high morals coming from our neighborhood, you know what I mean? Certain incidents happened just recently, you know what I mean, that could have been prevented, and it was due because, you know, a lack of education. Just keep it that way, and that's enough, because I don't speak neighborhood stuff. You know what I mean? That's it's against the law. Just keep it that way. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, man, I'm gonna bring this video to an end. Yeah, and to you, Mr. Questionnaire guy, I question that, man. Who are you? Must be I'll just leave it as that. Well, anyways, you ready to get started in that fitness journey and becoming that 10.5? You know what time it is, man. Shoot me a DM on my Instagram, highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Get them results, baby. Come on now, 54. There's no excuse. Let's do this.